This episode of ArTechník Podcast is brought to you by Amazon.com. It's easy. All you've got to do is go to our website, ArTechníkPodcast.com, and click on the big button that says Shop with Amazon. And then shop as normal, and a percentage of your purchase will go directly to supporting the podcast at no extra cost to you. So there you go. Go to our website, ArTechníkPodcast.com, click on the big Shop with Amazon button, and you will be helping out the podcast. All right, here's the show. ArTechník Podcast, number 37 for December 16th, 2012.
Yeah, he does sleep naked after all.
Okay, we're live.
What?
What?
Okay.
What?
All right, what?
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 Huh? What?
Huh? Who?
What?
Well, we were discussing my sleeping habits.
Again?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing a morning show, like the morning drive show now. We've got our
Well-
coffee and we're like, hey,
Kind of are.
traffic's
This
heavy
is
there.
the earliest I think we've ever recorded.
Yeah, so this is our morning show.
Is it? Yeah, yeah. Watch
Yeah.
out
This
if
is
you're going
morning
down
as we
I-4
get.
today. There's a traffic jam on John Young Parkway and Cimarron.
What? Okay. I thought that's what
I don't
you
know if
said.
you're aware,
Wow.
but Jeff lived in Orlando for a while, and
I don't
the
know if you know
I-4
this.
is a big street there.
Yeah, I finally figured it out, yeah. Wow, who did you piss off? Why aren't you working there anymore?
Why am I not working?
Okay,
Period.
next question.
Next question. Hey, we have a guest today.
We do.
Say hello, guest.
Hello.
This is. Who are you? Who are you? I noticed I was peeking. Sorry.
I'm a local comedian. I met Jeff through the Springer Opera House.
What's your name?
Chris Hatchett. I forgot that part. I was so focused on saying what I do, which is such a small thing, such a small thing. When you recording ever, because I am literally a nobody.
Well, then you're in good company.
That's right. You're in a company of nobodies.
I make chicken salad. That's what I do.
Yes.
More than tell jokes, I make chicken salad for $7.25.
Yes. Man, that's good. I would take that.
Yeah. Sure.
Does it have the grapes and stuff in it? Because I
Oh,
like
yeah.
the chicken. I
We
like
got
the fruity
grapes.
chicken salad.
It's called.
I've heard that about you.
Fruity Fran is what it's
Ooh.
called.
Oh, wow.
Is there tarragon in there? I've always heard that's very good in chicken salad.
What's the secret recipe?
I don't know. They just give us packets with stuff in it.
So you're not really making chicken salad so much as opening chicken
think-
salad.
No. I steam the
Yeah.
chicken and I pick it and I shred it and I put the seasoning in and the celery and the mayonnaise and I mix it all up.
This is what people come to listen to the show for, I think. I think this is it. This is gold.
Well, the holidays
This-
are coming up, you know.
That's
People
true.
cook and bake and
Do you have advice for exceptional chicken salad?
Boil it.
No.
All of it or just the chicken?
All of it.
So Chris is a comedian. He's stand up when he's not making chicken salad, and I think we met through No Shame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought you moved to Idaho for a while or something.
I did. I
Yeah.
was.
I thought you were
performing-
gone.
Oh no. I had always planned to come back, but I came back after 3 months, and I originally planned to come back after 6 months to a year.
Right.
I was up there and it was great. Like where I lived at, there was a town of 200 people, and then there was a hill where there was a farm. And the farm was owned, like all of the land was owned by one guy, but my uncles lived on that farm working for him. So I lived on this giant hill that could see over all of the town. And I don't say that like it was a thing that I could do. I did do it. I had binoculars and I stared at everybody all the time. But it was beautiful, the stars and the sky. Because
Yeah.
you don't get that in the city very much. But
That's true.
I couldn't find work up there because the nearest town was like half an hour away. And I didn't have a car because I just went up there.
Or long enough binoculars to really
Yeah, to clock
read
in.
the want ads.
Yeah, exactly. So my uncle would have ended up driving half an hour. He would have driven 2 hours every day to get me to and from work if I had found a job. So I just bailed so I wouldn't cause him any more trouble.
Yep, right.
And
now you're
Is
back.
Idaho a hotbed of stand-up comedy?
Oh, yeah. There's actually a comedy club in Boise, I heard, but I never made it out to it just because I did. I was poor. I was extremely poor. I ate hot dogs and ramen every day.
Yes.
Just like I do now.
Yeah.
Can you share your hot dog and ramen recipes with us?
Boil it.
So I see you do your stand-up act at No Shame in Columbus, but you also go out and about to Atlanta, right? And hit some clubs, or I don't know what that is. I don't know what that life is.
The Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta is the one the most prestigious comedy club I've been to. The last time I went, I actually got to watch Chris Tucker perform. And then I got to struggle and wrestle with the fear of getting on stage and performing 45 minutes after Chris Tucker blew the roof off of the house. And not to say Chris Tucker isn't funny, but once you reach a certain level of fame, they're laughing at your star power.
Yeah.
And his jokes were good. They just, like anyone else who had gone up there, would not have done as well as he did. And it kind of just put a lull on the rest of the show. But it was good. I went up there with two other local comedians, Preston Whaler and Gabe Davis, and we had a good time. I did the best. Generally, I don't like to be pretentious and say things like that, but people told me I did the best, so that's what I tell people.
There you go.
Claim it.
I've been told that my chicken salad is exceptional.
Just like
I
my jokes.
read a thing online somewhere that was like that, like the way to brag. They said you should never.
Say that I did this.
Right,
Say that
but you
somebody
should.
said.
Yes, we must have read the same thing.
No, but I mean that just makes sense.
But yeah.
'Cause
You,
that
you
deflects
say
a little
I've been
bit.
told that my pie is the best in the county, and my husband always asks for a second pie, and now he's got diabetes.
Jeff had to read something that we all knew intuitively about life.
That's
That happens a lot.
That happens a lot. I'm not really in touch. I
You
stay in
know,
this
the
little
other
house.
day, you put peanut butter on one slice of bread, and you put jelly on another.
Whoa!
And you
And
put
then
those
what?
two together.
What the hell?
It's a very special sandwich that children love. It's a really easy way to lure them
I do
in.
love children.
You look
Whoa.
like
How long do
You
you
focused
boil
on the
it?
wrong aspect of that story, Jeff.
Oh, I do.
You know, I've been
Peanut
told
Love
that all
peanut
of my milkshakes bring the boys to the yard.
You're not better than mine. I guarantee you.
Wow.
Damn right.
So I was going to say, okay, because I've enjoyed watching it, No Shame, and I think I might have been there the first night you went up on stage
I told,
about the gas station.
getting
Yes.
stabbed at the gas station was the very
Oh, it's a
first
good
set of
story.
stuff I ever
God,
did.
that's a great one.
Tell that for the people that are listening.
Well,
'Cause,
Be
I mean,
funny, man.
Well, no,
no,
I mean,
it's a good
it's a
story.
great
It's just a
story.
good story. Yeah,
I
you
was-
don't have to be on. It's just
Yeah.
it's a good story.
I was working at a gas station, and I worked third shift, and it was extremely cold that night. Do they know where you record at? Is that like a secret, like where the city that we're in?
No.
Secret bunker. No, we're in Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so we're in Columbus, Georgia, and in Georgia in general, it doesn't snow a lot, but it was really cold that night, so everything kind of got iced over, and the street was slick, and there was snow. There was actually snow. Snow fell and all that. And the guy came in a couple times, but the first time he came in, he talked to one of my regular customers, this guy that's really cool. So instantly, you get credit for knowing the guy that I like.
Right.
Yeah.
So he leaves, comes back, asks if I know the bus schedule, leaves again, comes back, and is like looking at chips and stuff. And I assume he's just getting something to snack on to wait and see if the bus is coming, because I told him I didn't know because of how icy it was. So I guess in his mind, the bus didn't come, so no one was going to get off the bus. So this was the perfect time to commit a caper.
Yeah.
So he grabs a Mountain Dew, which right off the bat should have been a red flag because black people don't drink Mountain Dew. I'm half black and I don't even drink Mountain Dew. So he comes up to the counter and he's got his Mountain Dew in his hand and I just ignore it and he asks me for a pack of Black and Milds. And I turn around and as soon as I turn around he jumps up and he stabs me twice. Once right below my neck and once on my shoulder. On my back though, so it's hard to explain. In between my shoulder blades pretty much is the first one and right below one of my shoulder blades is the other one.
God.
But
And did you live?
Hilarious.
I'm rotting in this chair. Like
Yeah.
I left my freezer that was keeping me alive, keeping me from falling apart.
Wow,
They
this
call
house.
me Mr. Freeze.
This house is exactly what I imagined hell to be like.
Yeah, my girlfriend told me
Yeah.
if I decompose any further, she's gonna stop having sex with me. So
Oh, yeah.
we gotta finish this up so I can get back to the deep freezer.
Is that awkward when she's in the house to make these jokes?
No,
She used to
I
it.
made a joke one day on stage about how I treat women like dementors. So when I'm having sex, I pull out and come on their face and say erecto patronum. And she was recording the show that night, so.
Oh, God.
The ones we care for sacrifice much.
Yeah.
Crap they put up with. But
It is true, though, having to... No, go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna sort of go back because that was the first time you appeared at No Shame, and it was, I think it's floored everybody. I mean, everybody was sort of in this confused state of, they were like, "This is funny, but am I allowed to laugh?"
That's how I want all of my material to be. Like, I want there to be hesitation before every laughter, every laugh, just because I think it's funny. When I was a kid, like and not to be like, ooh, but I had like kind of a shitty childhood, just a bit, and I would always try and make it better by making jokes when bad stuff happened.
Right.
But I was terrible at it. Like, I wasn't recognized as funny by the group of people I spent time with until I was like 17. But I was making jokes since I was 9. So
It was all warm-up. You had to,
yeah, it was
you had
all
to
getting
get
ready.
the skills.
And I realized that I started hanging out with these girls that went to CSU because I only, for some reason, hung out with people older than me. And they never laughed at anything I said. My brothers thought I was funny. My friends thought I was funny. But at 17, I could not make these girls laugh. Like, they pretty much hated me just because of how unfunny they thought I was. And then over the years, spending time with them, I slowly changed my style of humor to meet their needs. Because I love making people laugh. That's why I do stand-up. And I slowly changed my humor to meet their needs. And it was like a year later, I was sitting at Arby's with 2 of the girls, and I fucking hate Arby's so much. And I was just, like, miserable. And one of the girls was like, Chris, you've gotten a lot funnier. And I said, maybe it's not that I've gotten funnier. Maybe it's just that you don't hate me as much as you used to. And she said, no, you've gotten funnier. So the hate was still there. But
Well, I saw. Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, you go.
No, it's your show.
I was just gonna continue on because this is something I haven't done any jokes about on stage yet. Is that I went to Idaho, like you said, partially because of what happened, the accident, and then I came back for court. That was a large part of the reason why I came back. So
I remember, yeah.
And they were like, oh, we're gonna have court on the 1st of January. We need you back as soon as possible. So I came back on like December 22nd last year for court, and then court wasn't until like March.
God.
Like, the DA called me back and was like, we need you. And then, like, 3 months I waited to finally go. And the guy got 17 years in prison.
Wow.
And 5 years probation. And everyone in his immediate family has, like, I have a restraining order against all of them. Yeah. His brother told on him. Like, the cops showed up. Because the way that they found him, which I didn't mention, which I should have, because it's the funniest part, is that he ran out of the store, and he had a bike behind the gas station, and it snowed that night, and he just rode his bike home a mile, and there's just a trail in the snow all the way to his house. The cops showed up, and they knocked on the door, and they were like, hey, did you rob that gas station? And he was like, oh, no. And then his brother was like, yeah, he did. So you know that you're a piece of shit when your brother rats you out for almost killing someone.
So in 17 years, you will be somewhere else.
Hopefully.
far away.
I'll either be making chicken salad as a manager in a different state, or hopefully telling jokes or writing on some TV show.
Yeah. I hear that song, Footprints in the Snow, by Bill Monroe.
That's about him.
As the cops are approaching the door.
The father of bluegrass.
Yeah. Doesn't snow
17
much here.
years. How does it feel to have ruined somebody's life?
Fucking amazing. My cousin actually told me that she thought that more than 5 years would be too much. And I was like, fuck you. When they told me that, because he was 19 when he committed the crime, and he spent a year in jail, so that knocks 1 year off. So he'll be in for 16 years, and he's going to be like 36 or 37 when he gets out of prison, and I just feel so good about that. I think about it every day. I get an erection all the time just from thinking about how that guy...
Justice.
That guy's probably going to get fucked, and eventually he's going to start to like it. He's going to come out, and he's going to have no ill will towards me because I helped him discover himself.
Being close to 36, I got to say that must be a horrible time to try and come out of prison. I mean, that seems like the worst, awkwardest phase of life to try and reacquaint yourself with reality.
Especially if you're coming out of it from a 19-year-old mindset. Not to paint sympathy for our villain. But
No, this is totally abstract,
I'm walking
theoretical.
I'm out of here.
where are you going, buddy? Fuck you, man.
The great thing was like his defense was, I don't understand. I didn't know that what I was doing was wrong.
I'm just a caveman.
Yeah, I have like his mom was like he had trouble developing skills when he was in school and he didn't have friends. He didn't have friends because he was an asshole. And he was in 5th grade and they were like, "Hey, do you want to go hang out with that guy?" And they were like, "He looks like he's gonna stab us." So
His report cards that said doesn't play well with others, but is excelling in his stabbing lessons.
Aaron and I just finished a show together. It was months ago now. Finished a show together recently, and we would play this warm-up game where you would basically make a motion, and it had like an animal or a sound attached to it or whatever. Like meow, and they would make cat noises or whatever. But one of the and you'd say things like you'd shoot a gun, you go bang. And the kids would start to add variations, and I always thought of you when this variation came up because one kid started going, "Stab! Stab!" And I went, "Oh, you're gonna get 17 years, kid."
you're gonna do the stab motion and go
No, he just said it, "Stab!"
stab. You think when he goes home he's like shit. Sandwich.
Probably.
The worst
Reading.
was kick to the
Discovery.
gut because the kids were too short to actually aim for your gut, and it was always a worrisome prospect.
And they would go, "Knee in the gut."
Kick to the nuts.
Kick in the
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna punch you in the stomach. I missed. I punched you in your penis's stomach. And now it's throwing up.
I saw your second or third appearance at No Shame. It was very, very early, and I was delighted because you ran out about 30 seconds into the piece and then sort of stared at us for a moment and said, "I would rather waste 4 minutes of your time than get it off of this stage." And then you did. You proceeded to sort of stare at us and make comments about what crossed your mind.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't compliment me on that set because I was gonna say my second set is like that was my third. That was definitely my third. It was in Foley Hall, and that was the week that the two regulars, Tony and Casey, got up there dressed like Winnie the Pooh and someone else, a bumblebee.
The bumblebee.
When they came
yeah.
too early, when they thought the costume party was the week later, was it
No,
that?
This was a
over-
different event.
Over
Oh,
a year
okay,
ago,
okay.
they were reading about
Yeah.
the Holocaust while dressed up as Winnie the Pooh and a bee.
Oh,
And
was
screaming
them?
at us,
Yeah.
"Why are you laughing?"
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I really, really over-prepared that week. Like, I freaked out. My first week, I did it. I was like, I'm ready for this. I've told these stories to people, and they think they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
My second week, I wasn't going to perform, and then I found out it was on the Springer main stage, and I was like, I cannot turn down the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to do anything on the main stage. Even if I fail, I got to get up there. And then I went and did Foley, and I forgot my jokes, and then I had a rape joke, and at that... I had never done a rape joke. It was only my third set. And I got up there to say the joke, which I thought was hilarious, and I couldn't say it. Like, it got caught in my throat. Just because I thought, at first I was like, yeah, I could say anything on
Whatever,
stage.
right.
Yeah.
And then I think it took me like a good, it was almost a year before I made a rape joke, and it was like the lightest rape joke ever. Like, it was just a don't walk to your car by yourself later type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Have you ever had, like, anyone just get pissed off at you? Like talk to you after the show and be like,
yeah.
Oh, no.
You really offended me?
No. Now, I have offended people specifically in the crowd, but I've never...
None who are brave enough to face you. You
Yeah.
just get ticking packages in
There was
your
a guy-
mailbox.
I remember at the tweeted.
Yeah, tweeted.
Yeah.
At tweeted, there was a guy who was like tweeting and commenting on Facebook, like talking shit about the other acts. And No Shame is for amateurs who, who are working on something or people who have never been on the stage before.
Right.
So I got so angry, and I had so many good jokes. And you guys did improv that night, and the word was Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it
I
was.
remember
shouted
that,
it out.
yeah.
I
It
shouted
was.
out Thundercats. So you guys did Thundercats, and as soon as I got on stage, I said, the Thundercats may have been up here earlier, but that guy's the biggest pussy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was pointing at the guy who was
I remember who this is.
cyber heckling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, that
Yeah.
Twitter feed was a terrible idea for No Shame.
Yeah, we should explain if for
Yeah.
folks who didn't see it. Go ahead, Adam.
The tweeted show, so I tweeted on my iPad, the one we did a couple.
We talk about in episode 3, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of the interaction of that show was we had a live Twitter stream. It was very multimedia, lots of screens and videos and things like that. But there was a constant Twitter feed, and during the tweeted show, it was fantastic because people could tweet suggestions, comment on things, and generally it was a very positive experience. But
Yep.
it was a very elaborate setup, and so we had at least I think 2 No Shames on that stage space set up that way. And the first night we did it with that Twitter feed, it just became this open invitation for people in the audience to just be complete assholes.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't know if it was just that it was after 10 o'clock, if it was the alcohol
people
or
were drunk. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think it
I
had
don't
to
know
do
what it was.
with the security of saying something behind a screen instead of.
Yeah.
know,
yeah,
going
and I
around
remember there was someone, I think it's someone Daniel works with, who was heckling me directly, and then I found out their handle, figured them out, and then I found them, and I was like, oh, are you so and so and so and so?
Oh, yeah.
And just engaged her in conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh gosh, I'm
And she
so
was-
embarrassed.
No, she wasn't. She was like, yeah, I'm really funny, aren't I? And I'm like,
No.
nope. You're just a bitch. You might be a nice person otherwise, but
Yeah.
you drank something.
The tweeted setup actually broke 2 of my cherries, which was dealing with real hecklers.
Right.
The first week, and
Yeah.
then the second week I made my musical debut.
Oh,
where
yeah,
we
I remember that.
I sang that really shitty song called American Moon, which is about a Mexican werewolf who he's a Mexican farmer who gets bitten by a werewolf and leaves Mexico in fear of hurting his family and runs. They don't say it in the song, but he runs to Kansas to eat all the corn, to run wild in the cornfields. But it was me and another No Shame regular, Daniel Schaefer, and
Yep,
his fiance all playing music up there. And it's such a bad song, and the vocals are so terrible. And I was doing this stupid dance the
I
entire
remember.
time,
I
but I
remember.
had so much fun doing that.
And that's the thing I love about No Shame is you just get a chance to try things. I mean, most weeks I just do improv, but you watch people take a lot of risk, which is great.
Yeah.
But this show's not about No Shame. We talk about No Shame enough.
Yeah, fuck
Except
No
well,
Shame.
fuck No Shame right
Yeah,
in its ear hole.
it hasn't helped any of us do anything.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Fuck Jim Farr too. I hope you're listening, bitch. I got your number.
Spelling his name with a PH, expecting it to sound like an F. What the
You
hell?
should just change it on their website to
Yeah.
FARR.
Yeah. Jim, far away. Don't hurt us, Jim. Let us perform. There's not. I'm surprised at how many stand-up acts I have seen show up in Columbus, but I would still say Columbus is not necessarily a hotbed of stand-up. How are you coping in this community? I mean, like, what are you? You know, who do you have other? You got Gabe. You got some other stand-up buddies, but
Gabe. No, I've got one.
you got one. Okay.
I've got Gabe. He and we travel to Atlanta together. Every time he goes, I ride with him. So
Yeah.
he drives, and I provide us a place to crash because I know people in Atlanta.
Right.
We went one night to a comedy club, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was just this tiny. It was this tiny building, and in the back there was a bunch of hallways that led to a room. And when we got there and we went in the back and I saw all this shitty hallways, I was like, this is going to be terrible. And then we walked in, it was like the most legit room I had ever seen. It was small, but it was the perfect setup for stand-up. It had a brick wall and a door and all this stuff. And I was like, this is great. And then like 8 people showed up, and like 6 people were comedians. So then
So it
Gabe-
felt kind of everyone. It's like a big circle jerk. Like everyone's like, oh, let's.
Well, that's the thing. Comedians don't like laughing at each other, which is something I learned. I didn't know that. If I think you're funny, I'm
Really?
gonna laugh at you. I don't hold any ill will against you because you want to succeed too. So the setup for this place was you got 5 minutes, and they had 3 red lights, and 3 people in the audience had a button. And if you get 3 red lights, you got to get the fuck off the stage. So Gabe went up there, and he thought that it was a 5-minute thing, and he thought his 5 minutes was up. And he was like, "Wait, do I have to wait till all my lights go out to get off stage?" I thought I had reached 5 minutes, and one light. I was like, "Is it gonna?" I was watching it, and nothing happened, and he didn't know what to do. So I was like, "Hey, Gabe, what do you think about women who jog at night?" And then he told a joke about women that jog at night, and then I told him, like, I fed him another joke because you blank on stage when you have to do material outside of what you prepared for your set. So I was just like, and what do you think about abortion and stuff like that? And he would tell the joke that he had written and performed weeks ago. So Gabe went up first, and then I went up second. And I got up there and I was telling my jokes about my dad and, how he burned our house down and all this crazy stuff. And none of the lights came on. And most of my stuff was improv because the night before I had failed at the Laughing Skull Lounge. It was my first time ever at the Laughing Skull Lounge, and I did miserably.
Right.
So I'm up there and I'm just kind of just goofing around with the crowd, just like riffing and talking about nothing. And they're all laughing and ha ha ha. And I was like, I want one of my fucking lights to go off. And then no one would push the light. So I just antagonized the crowd until 2 red lights popped up, and I was like, a good fucking night, and I walked off stage.
That's nice.
On me being so funny.
Oh, man.
But that's the one thing I love about your sets that you do at No Shame, is the kind of, I don't know, improvisational feel to it. Like they're really, and I don't know how much of it is pre-planned and how much of it is you're kind of in that moment, just kind of playing off of things that are happening that the audience is giving. Yeah.
And on the secret of my success, and that is, I think of one sentence that has to do with my joke, and then I tell that sentence on stage in a long, expanded way. It's really windy, and I just think about it. And Gabe I've heard him say his material in my living room with a time thing going to make sure it's under 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And I will just go up there and just be like, these are my jokes. And almost, it's not all improv. I think of certain aspects and a lot of the punchlines before time, but it's all the filler that I just make up on the spot. And that's not because I'm a comedy genius. It's because I'm lazy as hell and I don't want to do anything. I started out writing all my jokes down in a notebook, and I was doing kind of bad. It was on and off. But this past summer, I had 3 straight months, which is 12 performances of just pretty solid sets. So I just went with that, and I've been enjoying it.
Yeah. I wonder if, you joke and you call it being lazy, but I wonder if maybe you're building a system for you that is sustainable. You know what I mean? You're like, what if it were pushing a rock uphill every time you're trying to do this, I could imagine it would get a little fatiguing. But if you basically have your wheelbarrow of, I can fit this and this is easy and here I go, for lack of a really shitty metaphor. But
I think I've done I've started perfecting this method just because of the way No Shame is. Mm-hmm. A lot of people stand-up comedians at least will perform twice a month there, and I try and perform every week, but it's too hard to try and memorize 5 minutes of material every week. I don't have really any of my stuff memorized perfectly. Mm-hmm. But when I start, because in No Shame, you don't really want to do the same stuff over and over and over again. Yeah. But that's what
right. And it's interesting because I've seen Gabe do some of the same acts, before.
Yeah. And Gabe's stuff is a lot more successful than mine because.
Well, it's interesting. I'll watch Gabe experiment with a formula where it's he will. His jokes seem sometimes to me like Lego bricks, He's I'll see him mix and match and try combinations of different thing, and I think that works well for him for what his style is. But it's interesting with what you're talking about because I think it's a little more. And that works for Gabe, and I think that's great. What seems to be working for you is staying flexible. You get up there, you perform every week, and I don't know how. Whenever I see something that goes unplanned for Gabe, I watch him recalculate and get back in it. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think which is fine. It's just one thing where I feel like maybe you kind of are naturally a little more elastic with what's going on.
Willow tree bends and never breaks.
Yes, that's very good.
Lovely.
Hear that, comedians?
Yeah.
Zen.
One of the things about stand-up that I have observed and fascinates me is it's one of the most extreme versions in the performance mode of you have to fail your way to success. You just have to throw things out there, try, and go, oh, okay, that's one way not to do stand-up. And you slowly eliminate the million or so possibilities of how not to do that crisp, sharp routine, and then you finally start zeroing in on what it is that you need to be doing.
Well, Jeff told me that one time, and Jim has told that to me before. It's you're gonna fail, and I always tell them whenever they say that to me, I've already failed. I don't fucking like it. So I don't want to fail my way to the top. I want to succeed my way to the top. I'd like to be the first comedian ever who doesn't like. I don't want to be booed off stage in my career because I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't kill myself. I would just literally cease to exist if I got booed off stage. I would just.
What happened to Chris?
Yeah, I just on stage, boo, you suck. Go fucking animal, boo. And then I would just puff a smoke. Just like a, imaginary friend you don't believe in anymore. I would just be gone.
Oh.
What's that thing you have to make? Aaron, what is it? You make your first 50,000 mistakes?
The sooner you make your first 5,000 mistakes, the sooner you can get on to your next 5,000.
Okay, I said 50,000. I clearly
You're making a lot of mistakes.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Gosh, I have so far to go before my first 50,000 successes. I hope I'm alive.
It's amazing though, when you do totally blow something, and then you're just like, oh, I lived through that. I did not evaporate into a puff of smoke.
Yeah.
Yes, I do
I'm
feel
still
somewhat
here.
obligated to boo you off stage at this point to prove that you survived the event.
Well, it wouldn't be
given
so
up.
You guys are
smart.
mean. I can't do that.
Unless you got the whole crowd behind you, then it wouldn't work because, and I don't know, because
You're
you
just
haven't
that
been
drunk
recently,
asshole.
Aaron, but lately there have been people who like are talking to me in a negative way or like yelling at me or saying anything, and I just look at them and I say, shut the fuck up. Like, I told the crowd to shut the fuck up and suck my dick and all this horrible stuff over the last few weeks, and everyone thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah.
There was a point where I was like, shit, I forgot my joke. And someone said something while the crowd was laughing at me, and they heard him and they laughed again, and I was like, I didn't hear you, but you can go fuck yourself. And the room exploded with laughter. So if I get one person like booing me or anything like that, I'll just like say profane things to them, and the crowd eats it up.
Yeah.
They like to be abused just a little bit.
I think so. I think there's something about a performer that gets up there and just kind of owns what's happening. I think they respond to that well. I think confidence is.
I would like, if anyone listens to this, they're gonna just like, my whole persona on stage is gonna be shattered because I'm just like the most insecure, anxious person in the world, and I get up there on stage, and once I step on stage, all that's gone because my mind is just like, this is what I prepared for 5 seconds yesterday, and then I'm just on like autopilot. Like, I just spit the jokes out in a certain style and manner, and then someone will break that concentration, and that's why I tell them to suck my dick, because they're messing with me. But when I step on stage, I feel fine.
Yeah.
The very first time I got off stage, my skin was on fire. Like, I was sucking in air. I got off stage, my skin was on fire, and then someone thanked me. Some guy, I think he was like a soldier. I like to remember him as a soldier just because that makes
Better
what I
narrative.
did. Yeah. I made a
He said,
soldier's
thank you,
night.
son, and then boarded a helicopter and it flew away. Yeah.
Exactly. He walked up to me and he shook my hand and he said, that was really funny. I really appreciate it. And then he walked away, and I was like, I want to do this all the time.
Yeah.
Because if I can get thanked for making someone laugh, that means that they needed a laugh, and I just feel good about that.
We call that the bug.
Oh, yeah.
After you do your first performance or whatever, and that feeling that comes back, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, now I'm hooked. More, please.
I got recognized the other day too, which just made me want to perform. I was at a gas station, and I held the door for this woman, and she was like, hey, I know you. You're Chris Hatchett from No Shame. You're awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, thanks. And then she walked through the door, and I let it go, and my girlfriend was supposed to be walking through the door after her, and I just let the door go because I didn't give a shit. I was in La La Land. But it would have been a completely different story if she'd be like, I know you. You're Chris Hatchett. You fucking suck. Then I would have hit her with the door, But it was one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. It was,
May you be lucky enough to have the problems of success, though, where someone is like, you suck. But
oh, yeah.
whatever, you know who I am.
You know my name, bitch. Go write a blog about me.
That's right. I occupy space somewhere in your brain.
Increase the amount of Google search results by writing a blog about me.
Well, you said something earlier about your preparedness and going on stage, and how much of, because you see a lot of comedians that they have like a persona, like a character they play when they're up on stage. Do you feel you do that, or is it just you in some sort of hyper state?
Well, I tell lately I've been telling two kind of jokes, and one kind is like, oh, I'm energetic and fun, and like I'm gonna tell you guys this horrible shit with a smile on my face, and the other one is like I've been trying to find a mix between that style and deadpan, where I'm like kind of smirking at saying horrible things. I can't remember any of my jokes from my last set right now, but that's what I've been trying to do. And last time I performed, I realized that I kind of like doing the half deadpan thing because it lets me be more laid back. But I'm way more energetic and fun, and like I'm gonna say horrible things while smiling and try and make you laugh. I just enjoy doing that because that is exactly who I am in my purest form. Like with my friends and my brothers, that's how I am. So that's me. It's not a persona. It's just who I am when I'm at my best. Yeah. So
it's interesting to watch your set and watch when you when you do and you're very laid back or whatever, because I feel like it makes the audience come to you a little bit, and it's sometimes when you're quiet and you're just doing your thing, we're all like, what's gonna happen next? And then something comes out, and I it's interesting. I think it's good because I think it shows that you're in control of the situation, and that you genuinely really don't give a fuck what they think
when I'm laid back than when I'm being myself. I'm like inside, on stage I'm like, and then they killed him. But in my head I'm like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yes,
are they gonna laugh at this?
Your brain's going double time, but you're like, huh?
My body's not moving anywhere near as much, and I'm not smiling, so my brain's like, time to run around in circles.
Yeah.
One thing I haven't talked about on stage that I want to talk about is that a few weeks ago I talked about this horrible joke I wrote like last year or early this year about farmers having sex with their animals and then sending those animals to be butchered, and people eating cum bacon, which is really gross, don't get me wrong, but they flashed the lights on me for 4 minutes, and I only had a minute left. And someone shouted out, I was like, I only have a minute left? And some woman shouted out, yes! And I thought she was shouting out yes like she was so sick of hearing me, and she was ready for me to go off stage. So I talked about it the next week, and I was like, I guess I won't be talking about cum that much anymore. And then after the show, this woman who's in her 40s comes up to me, and she's like, no, that was me. I wish you had 10 minutes to talk about cum. And if you weren't so young. And then she just kind of lingeringly looked at me. And she's been back a couple times. Like there was a time where people do this thing where they say Chris Hatchett.
Yeah.
And they do this hand motion.
I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't.
I was about to ask about that, but go on.
I was wondering too.
I did that, and then they were doing that, and I was doing it. But it frustrates me so much sometimes when I just want to get to my set, and I can't get into.
I remember that feeling like that's where the fuck you audience started to come from. Chris Hatchett. All right, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And it's great.
So I'm saying Chris Hatchett, and then I go blah, 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 blah. It's like just for no reason. And then the same woman, like, because my tongue is flying in and out of my mouth, the same woman is like, you can do that all night. Like, oh, God. So I got a cougar after.
You gotta watch out. Yeah, you hit that level of success, she'll start like stalking you and be like, I know where he lives.
Oh gosh.
Okay, it was me.
You gave her my address.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff.
If she makes a significant enough contribution to the podcast, yes, we will sell you out in a moment.
Quick, where is he? I could be there in 10 minutes.
Who started the chant?
Tony
probably.
Henderson and Casey Oakes did.
That makes sense.
They just, it was the second time we performed our song. We were in Foley Hall, and I got up there, and they just started doing the chant, and then everyone joined in. And it was, funny the first time, but it was an advanced form of heckling is what they were doing to me. Tony P and Casey are like the grumpy old man in the Muppets.
Yeah.
For no
That's exactly right.
So they were mocking me, but everyone else was like, yeah, Chris is great. And I was like, well, I appreciate the sincerity that you guys are giving me, but I don't appreciate those assholes mocking me. And it just lasted and lasted. So some of my fans, I guess I would say, when Tony and Casey do that, they still join in, but most of the audience is like, it's just Chris Hatchett. Like, I'm not, because I perform every week, I'm not a hot commodity. Like, they're never gonna be like hurting for Chris Hatchett because I'm gonna be there. So they're like, why are we gonna chant? He's gonna come back either way. So
Sure, but I do think that it puts the audience on your side, and I think fan's a good word for it. Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, because if you're a first timer and you see that happen and they don't know who you are, and for one thing, it's going to put your name in their brain, and for another, they're like, oh, I think this is probably going to be good. The audience is already kind of behind it, so I would ride that train, man. That's pretty great.
I'm trying to, but the less and less people do it, the harder it is. And to go up there chanting at myself to try and bolster it doesn't make it any better.
I'll be a plant.
Yeah.
I
can see it following you to your first big concert gig, and you're on your HBO special, and the audience is chanting it, and your trademark is you open your set by "Shut the fuck up, let me talk," and just that's your thing from now on.
Shut the fuck up. This is what you paid for.
Season 21 of Comedy Central presents Chris Hatchett, New York City. And then the crowd.
I see we've all watched those.
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally watched.
I love
Yeah.
the.
Just don't get all Cat Williams where you're like funny in your old material, but you're not funny in your when you get like there's a Cat Williams. There's 2 specials I saw, and there's one which is earlier on in his career, and it's really raw and he's really funny. And then there's one because the new one was coming out, so that's why they're playing the old one a lot, I guess. And there was one where he did a lot of the same jokes. But he was very shiny and it was lit very well, and he just wasn't as funny for some reason. Like, I don't know what happens. I don't know if they lose the hunger. I don't know what it is, but it's.
Well, Cat Williams just makes a lot of money, and
he's gone off the deep end a little.
Yeah, he's crazy as shit. But what I've always said is, and this is horribly racist, but I don't care, is that he's like the best kind of black comedian. Mm-hmm. He knows what the people want, and he gives it to them in the best way he can because he's like, I've got an advantage, and that is being a black comedian. Everyone has their own specific advantages, but being a black comedian, you can make white people laugh just by being a cartoon character, and you can make black people laugh by being like, I'm like you. I do the things that you do too. And I'm not saying you can't be truly funny like that, but a lot of black comedians, they just, going to Atlanta, seeing all the comics there, that's just what they take advantage of. I was in a competition for NBC called Stand Up for Diversity, and they were looking for non-white comics pretty much to come and perform, and you got 60 seconds. I performed at No Shame. I left Columbus at 2 in the morning. I went to Atlanta, got there at 4 in the morning, and stood in line until 10:30 a.m. to find out that I didn't make the cut. No one laughed at my jokes. It was like 300 people in line, and they let 25 people in at one time, and no one laughed at my jokes. And it's because, and I don't want to sound like an asshole, but there's one white guy in the crowd because he wanted to give it a shot anyway. Yeah. Or there were 2 white guys. One was in a wheelchair, and he was hilarious. And the other white guy was hilarious. And then you had the really funny black guy, this one really funny black guy and this really funny Mexican guy, and none of us made it. Gabe got really nervous and was like shaking and stuff, but Gabe is funny enough to do what they wanted him to do. Right. So none of the people that I thought was really funny made it. It was all the people that went up there and made noises and danced around on stage like what you would expect a parody of a black comic to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Some guy made snoring noises and talked about his girlfriend's weave falling off her head, then going back up. And some woman went up there wearing a wig, pretending to sell her wig and her shoes that she had. And they made it. And the woman who had her wig on, she was violently shaking the entire time from nerves. And she's been doing stand-up for 13 years, she said. And she made it, and she almost had a heart attack in the parking lot when she found out. So I left at 10:30 in the morning just extremely disappointed. Sure, I didn't make the cut.
But on the other hand, you went and you tried it and did it. And that's a great, there's something to mine in that story alone.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story with a lot of characters that you met. So I'd throw that in your back pocket. But hell is, but I mean, I don't think you take this the wrong way. You do hell very well. Oh, when you bring up stories about really shitty things that happen, for me anyways, an audience member, they always really, really land. I remember we used to talk a lot about your sets early on when we were doing your first couple of sets, and there was a week where you stopped asking me about how your sets were going, and I was like, yes. Yeah. Good. He doesn't give a shit anymore. That is good.
It's not even that I didn't give a shit. It was like I figured out that pretty much Jeff's input is going to be important to me, but it's not going to change how funny I am at all. It helped me in the beginning, and then I was like, at this point, I have to sink or swim. And
and I was just like, yes, good. He's just doing it. And I mean, Yeah, and that's the thing, and it's all been just watching you just try shit, and you seem to be getting into a groove.
I have to have like an hour and a half of just material, not good material necessarily, but material. So
You have to have something.
yeah. Well, I've been meaning to. I don't have internet right now, but when I get it, I've been meaning to download every video that No Shame has of me, watching all of them and writing down and taking notes of what are the best jokes. And I'm going to stop writing new jokes for now, or I'm going to keep writing them and just not do them and just go through all of my old sets, mixing up different jokes and trying out stuff. Just because you can't be a comedian if you're going to do new stuff every single time. Like, I can't go do 15 minutes and host a show if I do the same, if I'm trying to do new material for the crowd.
Right, yeah. There's that mix, I guess, for keeping it fresh versus these are the jokes. This is what I do. This is good. Yeah.
But it's
curated,
fun. It's just nerve wracking.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that there's just on the internet forever there will be videos of me on YouTube. And I go to the No Shame page and I have so many views. Not a lot, compared to how many people have on YouTube overall, but on the No Shame page I just have so many views, and I really appreciate that people are like going to the No Shame page, and when they go, they're like, "Oh, Chris Hatchett performed, and I wasn't there. I'm gonna watch this."
Yeah.
Whereas some people will have 3 views, I'll have like 27. I'll be like, "Yeah, 24 more people want to know what I'm doing." At No Shame, I have to be humble and be like, "Oh yeah, we all did a good job," because that's the point of it. But when I'm not at No Shame, I'm like, "I'm the best."
And
I won the No Shame.
Well, that's important too. Yeah, there's artists should be allowed to be confident about things.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think we should link a YouTube video of one of your acts up on the site whenever we go. So we'll talk about. We'll find one that you like, that you think's solid.
There's a really good one where I talk about domestic abuse.
Okay. If you happen to know which one it is, let me know, and we'll try and put it up.
I'll text it to you
at the same
later.
time we put the show up. Yeah, that'd be great. We are almost running into about that time. We're not totally done yet, but I would want to say, okay, so you've done it for a while, and you've got some war stories now, and more importantly, some experience, and not thinking about Columbus specifically, but out there in towns, like Columbus or like Idaho, like wherever in Idaho you were or whatever, if there's somebody that's like you that hasn't done their first set yet, what would you say to them?
Find a place to perform and do it. People told me since I was 17 that, you got to do stand-up. Like, go do it. And I always told them no. I was like, I sat down when I was like 18 years old to write jokes, thinking that that's how it was done, that I would just get down and be like, this is an idea. And I don't write. I'm not a writer. I wish I was a writer. I'd love to take a writing class, but you have to, when you say something that makes your friends laugh, that's off topic and random, write it down and keep it on you, save it in your phone, and then just think about that and then go on stage with it. Because I put off doing it for years and years and years before I realized what I'm saying is the joke. What I say in my everyday life, like the whole set about me getting stabbed and working at the gas station, those are all stories that I just told people and they laughed, and I was like, this is my first set of stand-up comedy. It's not, you don't just have to write something. It doesn't have to be on paper. Just think about it and then go do it. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck waiting for years and years and years to write material. I've written jokes now that are just completely made up. But that took me so long. Like, I'm not used to doing that. Because one thing that worried me after I got through my first couple of weeks of stand-up was that I was running out of personal stories, like horrible personal stories that happened to me. So what am I going to do?
I need more shitty events.
Yeah. And I was like, if I run out of these things, I'm going to be done unless I can learn how to write material and think of things that are just funny. And I finally was able to do it, but it took me so long to understand that general conversation, people can find that funny. Or the random thought that you have in your mind that you don't tell anyone, that can be funny. So that's what my advice is, just go do it.
Right on.
That's a better plan than trying to arrange more horrible things to happen to you.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get drunk and go, do 65 in a 70. Like, I'm gonna go under the speed limit.
They go under. They'll never expect that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive straight as an arrow. So if you don't already, you can usually catch Chris at No Shame Theater Fridays at 10 p.m. at the Springer Opera House. Is there anywhere on the web that you are yet, or you're thinking about being?
I've got a podcast of my own.
Yes, talk about this. This is good.
We're only 2 episodes in, and it's called the Are We Robots podcast. We're not up on iTunes yet. We're on SoundCloud right now, so you have to type in Are We Robots podcast. But in a few weeks, hopefully, we'll be up on iTunes.
Sweet.
We'll be releasing our 3rd episode this week.
What do you guys talk about?
We talk about random things. The first episode, we talked about the bus driver uppercut. And if you don't know what that is, all you got to do is Google it, and you'll see one of the coolest things you've ever seen. But it's a lot like this episode of ArTechník is, I'm sure. Extremely vulgar, and not for children unless, your parents aren't around and you're really lonely. Because if you're going to hear people yell cuss words, why not hear people yell cuss words not at you?
That's good, yeah.
So the Are We Robots podcast on SoundCloud. Look it up.
Check it out.
Now, I don't want to go for spoilers or anything, but are y'all robots?
Are we?
I'm asking.
So this is the part of the show where we normally go on to sign-offs, and that just means we say our name and a thing. And Chris, you'll go last because you're the guest. So I'll start. I am Jeff, and I would still probably marry a robot.
I'm Aaron, and I'm concerned about secret robots.
I'm Adam, and I was very happy with the level of fuck it in the podcast today. Yeah.
I'm Chris Hatchett, and I contributed to the level of bucket in the podcast.
Yay! Fuck it, internet.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week.
So much for that clean pledge we made the other week.
Whatever.